There you go.
Hello traders, Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com on August the 19th, 2018. In this edition of your weekend video newsletter, we'll discuss the indices, where they might be headed. We'll look at the indicators, which are mostly bullish. We note breadth and sentiment are both bullish as well. We'll look at the put-call ratio, VIX, volatility indexes, which are mostly bullish. The US dollar fading from the highs, that's creating a tailwind. We're watching the yen. We're also watching yields. We'll look at commodities, and we'll study sectors that are rotating into favor. Then we'll look at some IBD 50 names that we think might rally this week. Finally, we have Bukowski with 505 green with a CPI signal green since August the 17th, this Friday, currently at 81.5%, which is a bullish signal. He has 5 bearish patterns, 22 bullish patterns, and 290 patterns waiting for breakout. It's this last number that we're most interested in. Here we have the SPY 60-minute chart. We drew a trend line at the close, noting this resistance level. RSI was above 50, and we have a volume by price band and a previous pivot high about 286.63 that we need to move above if we're going to break out. We could also see this as resistance. Presently, momentum indicators are bullish. Tick cumulative is rising, and you know the only way this can happen is if institutions are buying more stocks on the uptick than they're selling on the downtick on a cumulative basis. Stowe is in the red zone, and we did see increasing volume compared to the previous week. So let's go to the daily time frame, where we have similar thoughts. First thing I notice is volume by price. Supply, if you will, is tapering off as we ease into previous highs. This is the unadjusted Spider ETF. Use the underscore to eliminate the effect of dividends. We have a 286.63 pivot high that we need to move above, and this recent pivot high in order for SPY to break out. Price action is above both moving averages. The moving averages are climbing. RSI is above 50. Tick cumulative is rising on the daily time frame, which is more significant than the 60-minute from a short-term and intermediate-term basis. This chart is more bullish than bearish at the present time. Finally, we have the Spider weekly unadjusted for dividends, same pivot high. Note that we had 5 weeks higher. 2 weeks ago, we moved sideways only on Friday because of the Turkish lira issue. There are some of you concerned about the Turkish lira. It'll be an issue when it becomes an issue. Until that time, SPY is more bullish than bearish. We're looking for a breakout. RSI is above 50. This is a significant change in character in the markets, and one which some participants are denying as we ease into all-time highs. MACD has turned up. PMO in this case is also turned up. Shows that the bulls have the momentum. Volume confirms. So we're looking for this chart to resolve higher in the short and intermediate term, unless some negative news or catalyst hits the markets in the next week or two. Here is the Dow Jones Composite. This is a good way of looking at sector rotation. This particular index is a reflection of Dow theory. It is comprised of 65 stocks from the industrials, utilities, and transports sectors. So if this is breaking out, look to those 3 sectors for potential setups. We already have a position in UPS. Mikey was talking to me this weekend about FedEx. Also keep an eye on the truckers like JBHT, JB Hunt, perhaps some of the airlines as well going into the week ahead. As this chart is more bullish than bearish, it's breaking above this pivot high, the one we need to exceed on the previous SPY charts. RSI is rising. We have this one little area of supply to deal with. After that, we have the January peak. MACD is crossing up, volume is increasing, and stochastics has room to run to the upside. Additional sectors to consider: XBI clearly in a cycle up. Look for a move back above the moving averages. Some of the stocks in the materials sector, XLB, are also showing a reversal on Wednesday. Follow through Thursday, Friday, cycle is beginning to turn. Energy, not interested at the present time. Financials, cycle beginning to turn at the zero line after a follow through from the Wednesday reversal, doji. So watch your banks, broker dealers, financial services like E-Trade Financial on the IBD 50. Watch the industrials as we just talked about with the Dow Jones Composite. This is cycling to the upside. Price looks like it's going to break out. This looks very much like XLV about 4 weeks ago when it broke out and took off to 52-week highs. Technology, whether or not we see more rotation out of that sector is left to be seen. The evidence suggests that we could see a follow-through. The cycle is turning up. Consumer staples doing their thing, cycle up, volume, and price action, all confirming a resumption of the trend. XLU, part of the Dow Jones Composite, cycle up, moving higher, volume increasing. Healthcare, as we just mentioned about the XLI, XLI is like right in here, comparatively speaking. XLV then went on to break out above these levels and then took off and started trending. So watch XLI. XLV is getting a little bit overbought at 52-week highs and a previous pivot. Cycle is flat. Looks like it's starting to turn back up. Consumer discretionary, where there's money flowing, consumers have it in their pockets. Will they spend it? We'll have to watch. XRT did look pretty strong last week. After a Wednesday candle lower, this resumed the trend higher. Cycle is clearly higher for retail. So sectors, most of them look pretty bullish. Some of them are just now starting to turn in their cycles, so those could continue higher, like industrials, financials, and materials, as most sectors are more bullish than bearish at the present time. Some of the names that showed up on the leaderboard and the MarketSmith Growth 250 names. Let's take a look at a couple of these names, like Etsy, that continues to base near a cup and handle breakout zone. Do note the buy point and potential buy zone up to the 48.28 level. Also note the metrics noted by IBD. Looking pretty good on Etsy. We're looking to get back into this one. Watch for a breakout this week. Five Below was a stock that we looked at for potential breakout. We got what we were looking for. Looking for a breakout on as retail names continue to reflect strength and institutional interest. Metrics look pretty good as well. Relative strength 97 continues to climb. Relative strength line, very important in the way IBD stocks are traded. Looking for a breakout above that buy zone up to about 109.29 if you're not already in it. PKI, Perkin-Helmer, medical research equipment, etc. Very nice metrics. Big cup and handle. Looking for a breakout with a buy zone up to 88.82. Looking pretty good on this one. Relative strength line needs to start turning up. Watching for a breakout on volume. You can always set an alert on this. for the week ahead fairly easily. TransUnion we talked about. So workday is looking good for a breakout. Measured move, take the depth of the pattern. I take an average, which gives you about 10 to 15 points above 140, perhaps 150 to 155 in the short term as targets, with workday earnings out in September. So make a note of it, as the breakout was on higher volume. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com on August the 19th, 2018 with your weekend video newsletter. We'll be out with the watch list later tonight around 10:30, so look for that in your inbox. It'll also be on the site in the watch list folder. Until then, I hope this helps. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon.